Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Sis Table Talk. I am super excited about this show tonight. I have my sister with me. You know, you have those sisters that you speak to every once in a while, but every time y'all get together, it's like y'all been talking every day. Those sisters that you can call up, you haven't spoken to in a year, but you can call them up and say, Sis, I need a favor, and they're there. I want to introduce to everyone Dr. Adrian Goodwin. That's right, I said Dr. Adrian Goodwin. Now, listen, if you are on YouTube, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. Please make sure you like. Please make sure you share. If you're on Facebook or LinkedIn, please like the video and share the video. We have a great talk this evening discussing creating the life and living the life that you desire. My special guest tonight is Dr. Adrian Goodwin, hostage negotiator, author, entrepreneur, my sister, my friend. Adrian, thank you so much for joining me. I'm just going to pass the mic to you. Just tell us about yourself, and I'm ready. I'm ready to live the life that I desire. So I'm ready to get into this.
Absolutely. But before I do, I just want to hand you your flowers, Monique. Thank you for showing up for the community. Thank you for creating this platform for women to just have an outlet to just share their story, to inspire others, to just do something different in their lives, right? To make a change, to live life on purpose, be brave, be bold, be courageous.
Yes.
And look, embrace that cake.
Yes, yes,
embrace that cake. So
yes.
Thank you so much for having me. It is an honor. You are truly a sister. And when we talk, it's always some great nuggets that are shared. So thank you once again for having me. So good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Adrian Goodwin. I am a author, children's author, entrepreneur. I've been in law enforcement for about 18 years, and I am a trained professional hostage negotiator, trained in crisis negotiation. So I'm excited to be here. Within, I guess, the last couple of years, I have built 2 six-figure businesses. Yes. I built 2 six-figure businesses within 3 years. And now I am birthing my new baby. So we'll talk more about that at the end of the live. And we have a security company, which is called G&G Security Group. We provide executive protection for high net worth clients. So that is just going extremely well. Those who follow me, you kind of know who my clients are. So we're just excited about all that God is doing. And we're just grateful for the connections and the relationships to be able to build and grow in our fields and in our passions. So thank you so much for having me.
Wow. Dr. Adrian, that is first of all, congratulations and kudos. And one is, you mentioned something that was really key here. You talked about in 3 years building 2 six-figure businesses. Now, I know our topic is creating the life that you desire, and I want to get into the negotiation, but can you tell us how were you able to do that, especially in your profession? I know you are a mom, you're a wife, you are two beautiful twins, 2 beautiful twin daughters, an author. How were you able in that short period of time to build 2 six-figure businesses?
Yeah. You know what? It was a mindset shift. It was really just looking at where it is that I wanted to be in life. And then what were my corresponding actions? Like, what were my steps that were going to get me to where it is that I want to go? Financial freedom, time freedom. I'm almost there with the time freedom. But it was really just tapping into your gifts. And one thing my husband always say is, don't search, don't look. What you need is within you. It's time to birth the gift that's within you and live the life that you truly want to live. And we created the business. We created the beauty supply store and the hair salon in Connecticut because there was no other beauty supply stores. And we know that we, as Black women, spend millions of dollars within the hair care industry and buying products. So he's like, that was the perfect idea for us to create this business. And within 3 months of starting the business, we grossed $30K within 3 months of the business. Yes.
Wow.
No debt, no debt within the business, but 30K within 3 months. And what we did was we leveraged relationships. And we're going to talk about that when we talk about negotiations. But that was important for us to leverage the company and grow and scale the way that we did. And we started a security company. We're both in law enforcement. My husband is retired for the past 5 years. So he started G&G Security Group. So he tapped into his gifts. And because he served, come on, somebody.
Wow.
Sometimes you have to serve in the field that you want to grow.
Yes.
He served his mentor for almost 20 years. 20 years. And
Wow.
that has been the person that has grounded us and helped us to grow the company to where it is today. So just doing it in between time, doing it in between work, and just trying to just find that. I don't say balance because you're going to drop the ball on one of the things, but I just say being present where you are in life. If you're a mom, you wear that mom hat well.
Yes.
If you're an entrepreneur, you wear that entrepreneur hat well. And you find the time for self-care, because at the end of the day, you matter, right? You can't be everything to everyone else and nothing to yourself. So definitely finding that time for self-care to grow these businesses is what did it for us.
I love that. And you talked about, and that to me is really important, serving. And sometimes as entrepreneurs, or sometimes even before we get to entrepreneurship, there is a lot of serving involved. And when we get to a place where we're able to reap some of the things that we've sown, right? And even those making six figures, what that helped you to do was continue to serve, right? And that helped you to continue to broaden the things that you and your husband and that your family do for the community. So I want to get into negotiating the life you desire. And I want to get into that topic. And it's great to hear it from you, because you are a certified negotiator. Like, this isn't something that you just, said, okay, I'm going to be a negotiator coach, or I'm going to teach women how to do this or men how to do this.
Yeah.
Live this life. It is part of your profession. And you're very successful at it. So what are the things that we need to think about or start to consider to begin to live the life that we truly desire?
So let me just start by saying this. Negotiation skills are a part of our everyday life. It is what we do. It is what we breathe. It is what we think. It's how we operate. You may not consider it to be negotiation, but it is. And what I've learned over the last 12 years, I have served as a professional negotiator, is the importance of relationships. And people don't realize you can 10x your life, both professionally and personally, if you understood the art of negotiations, if you knew the skill sets that's needed to collaborate with others, right? And people fear that. People fear confrontation. People don't know how to communicate effectively with others. They don't know how to collaborate. You're in HR, so you kind of understand the concept of working collaboratively. Like, how do we get to this end goal, right? How do we create win-win situations where both parties can walk away feeling somewhat good at the end of the day? And I use those same principles in my personal life. Being able to operate in a place of empathy, being able to communicate effectively. And what I think women lack, Monique, is that they don't know how to express what it is that they need.
That's good.
They don't have the words to express what they need and what they want. And because they don't have the skill set, they don't have that toolbox, they go through life feeling less than. They don't feel worthy of. They never go in and advocate for themselves for that promotion. They settle within relationships because they don't have the confidence and they don't have the clarity to be able to articulate what it is that they really desire for themselves. I think a lot of women struggle with this question. It's, who are you?
Yes.
Not who mommy said you are, not who daddy said you are, not who society called you to be, but who are you? Like, let's remove the mask. Let's remove the copying and pretending to be. but really digging deep down inside and saying, okay, Adrian, okay, Monique, this is what I want for my life. This is what it looks like. And these are the steps that I'm going to take to get there. We struggle with that. And we know that women lack confidence. And when you lack confidence, you can't show up boldly. You can't show up confidently.
Right.
You can't walk into a room and own it because you feel so small. And that's what negotiation skills do. That's what I've learned over these 12 years. I know that I can walk into any room and belong there.
Mm.
I know that I have something to offer.
Right.
Anyone that I'm with. But do people really feel that way, Monique?
So you know what? So okay, this is so good. I always get excited. I'm like, I'm ready to get up out of my chair. This is so good. So you talked about the confidence and how women, we don't really speak up. And it's absolutely correct. And I think it's all different types of reasons. But where do you think fear comes into that? And then how can we get over that fear of saying what it is that we want, of saying, yes, I want a mansion, okay? Or I want 2 mansions. Yes, I want to make 7 figures. Yes, I want to open my own business. Yes, I like luxury items, luxury clothes, luxury car. I want it all. And yes, I want a big bank account for my children to be able to pass down for generations. Why are we afraid to say who we are, what we want? You know, what is that? And it seems like there's also a stigma attached.
Yeah, it's, I think for a lot of women, they just feel like they shouldn't even desire those things. They don't feel like they're worthy of those things. It can be their environment, right? The environment saying, no, sis, stay down. I
Right.
like when you depressed. I like when you don't feel good about yourself. I like when your hair is not done. I like when you're not well groomed, right?
Right.
People feed off of that when you're low. So sometimes our environment, if it's not conducive to our growth and where we want to go, we got to change. We got to change soils. Like we got to move.
Yes.
we
Yes.
we have to move. We have to change the pot and get around some people that's going to irritate us to greatness.
Mm.
That's going to irritate us to greatness. But
Wow.
that fear is something else. And I think also the fear is not really being true about what it is that you need and want in your life. You want what everybody else wants.
Mm.
You want the end result of what people want, but you don't want to go through the process of what you need, right? Like, our mindset can play tricks on us. The words that we speak out of our mouths, right? You say, you know what? There's no good friends. There's no good men. Everybody is X, Y, and Z. And
Correct.
God is going to show you everything that you said.
Amen.
The no good men, the no good friends, all the time.
Right.
But when you begin to speak from your heart and utter those words and manifest things in your life, things begin to line up for you when you speak it into existence. So you may not feel confident, but when you wake up, I am beautiful today. I'm a work in progress, right? I'm trying to become financially free. I don't have the money today, but I'm going to read this financial book today, right?
Yeah.
You can have both thoughts. You can have both thoughts and still operate in greatness.
Wow. Wow. So I know that when we talked about negotiation, there were 3 key things that you mentioned. And you talked about communicating, connecting, and collaborating. And I like the fact that you said women have that ability. We don't always do that or exercise that ability that we have to connect, to collaborate. When you talk about negotiation, because there's an art to it,
Mhm.
right? There is an art, and relationships and collaboration are also about negotiating and how you show up. What are some things that we can do to negotiate better, career wise, personally, and in our businesses?
Yeah, so definitely before I go into that, those pillars, negotiation is not one size fit all, right? Every relationship that we encounter is going to be different, right? But there are elements within negotiation that exist for everything that we do. And those are the 3 E's. That's the ego depletion. right? It's not about you, sis. It's not about you, right? It's about that situation at hand. And if we're trying to go into the boardroom, we're trying to get contracts, we're trying to get clients, we got to show up differently, right? People are going to want to work with you because of who you are and how kind and genuine you are. So get rid of the ego. And then you have to empathy, right? Learning how to empathize with others and understanding them is going to bring you to that next goal, right? People want to know three things about you. Who are you? What do you have to offer? And why should I care?
Right. Right. That's right.
When we answered those three things, who are you? What do you have to offer? And why should I care? And I told somebody, I was on a panel and I said, people will invest in your business, not because they're going to use your product, but because they believe in you.
Right.
Because they believe in you, because that's the next E. It's ethical. Like you always have to operate in a place of integrity. That's the framework for negotiation and how I deal with crisis negotiation and how that applies to business in your personal life, right?
Wow.
How do you work with someone and it's all about you? That means you're not even hearing them.
Right.
You don't have good active listening skills, right? Negotiation is all about how do we get to a place where we can find a common goal, right? It's about creating win-win situations for both parties. It's about influencing behaviors to have better outcomes and better outcomes with yourself. Because in order to show up and be bold and be confident and be able to advocate for yourself, it all starts within you. And if you fail to do the work, you fail to 10x your life and have the life that you truly desire. So it's that inner work that's needed.
Now, those three E's are serious, and I hope our viewers will put those in the comments. Those three E's right there: ego depletion, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Ego depletion, empathy, and ethics, to be someone that's ethical. Let's just, we got to unpack this ego depletion. I'm serious. Like, that's good. And then you said something else, and I was like, oh, I got to write that down. When you said be around people that irritate you to greatness, right?
Let me tell you, I don't even pick up my phone for nonsense. Better yet, people know not to even call me because I no longer entertain. If you're calling me, you're going to be telling me about you. What can we do as sisters to grow and build together? Right? That's important. But if you're walking into the room with your ego, you're gonna walk out without a contract. If you're walking into the room with the ego, you're not going to get those clients.
Right.
You got to humble yourself, sister. You have to humble yourself and be open and be empathetic to people because we all walk different lives, right? And one thing that we have to understand is we have to meet people where they are. And we all come from different walks of life. But if you are a coach, if you are an entrepreneur and you're saying, hey, I need to grow my clientele, how do I get to the next level? What does that look like? You're going to have to compromise. You're going to have to learn how to collaborate and work with other people. That may mean coming underneath someone, right? You can be this coach, but you may need to get trained by that coach.
Oh, exactly.
Okay.
That's right.
And that's where the serving comes from, Monique. That's where the serving come from. My husband served his mentor for 20 years when he was about 21 years old.
Wow.
And he opened up the floodgates. Because why? Every time he called him, he showed up on time, ready, professional. He always let the ego to the side. He was always empathetic and he was always ethical. Always.
Wow.
That will lead you to doors, girl. That right there will unlock so many doors. But because we are afraid, because we lack the confidence that we need, it allow us to be resentful to people. And it allow us to not hear constructive criticism when you don't feel good about yourself. You like, sister, I think you should do X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. And because you're in a low place and you're stressed and things not working out right, you don't hear that.
Right. Right.
You don't hear that. right? So that's about getting around people that's going to nurture your growth and get you to the next level so that you can have those better outcomes. It's possible, but you have to do the work each and every day.
Wow.
And it's not about you. It's about the outcome of
And
the situation.
you know what? I have to bring this up because when you talk about building relationships, you are very good at that. So very good. And we met, goodness, I don't know if it was 2016, 2017. I think it was
Yep.
2016, years
Mhm.
ago, at a nail salon. Okay. Because you started a conversation, a friendly conversation. And I'm like, okay, this sister right here, I like this sister right here. And that
Yeah.
started a relationship. And there was a business that you were a part of, and I was under you in this business, and just the coaching and the mentorship and the way you treated your team. I'm going to say the way you treated your team, you showed up for your team. You had empathy for your team.
Mhm.
Everyone on your team felt special. And it's interesting because you encouraged me to build a team. I build a team. Stop the business. The business is no longer in
Yeah.
existence.
Mhm.
Stop the business. And um, people from my team still continued on, Adrian, but it is because of the leadership, right? And it is because of the tone that you set. So you truly, you talk the talk and you walk the walk. Okay. And I
Yeah.
know that you talk the talk and you walk the walk. And when you talked about not being afraid to also be coached, coaches need coaches, right? We are not the experts in every single area, but being able to say, you know what, this is the area that I need to strengthen, and
Yeah.
to reach out and to get a coach. You can be really, really good. And I need to keep correcting myself because I have to give, I don't mess around when sisters have credentials because of the time and the work that they put in. So let me make sure I keep saying Dr. Adrian. Let me just correct myself. But when you talk about
Yeah.
putting in the time and putting in the work and building those relationships for the business, now this is the security business, executive security business. Can you tell us more about that? This is a family-owned business. You and your husband, and I see just phenomenal things going on, and I see the business growth.
Yeah.
How were you able to establish it, and how are you and your husband as a team continuing to scale the business?
Yeah. So we started G&G Security Group from a $5 fold-up table, and it's probably right over here right now.
Wow.
$5. We sat in a room. We was in our bedroom. He was sitting at the table, and I said, we're going to grow this to be $1 million company. We're not there yet.
Wow.
But I said, we're going to grow this to be $1 million company. That means everything we do, we're going to treat it like it's $1 million. And we was, you in HR, so we was creating all these systems. We had no idea what we were doing. But I'm like, it's going to be an influx, and we're going to have calls, and we got to get our templates, and we got to be able to respond. And we was doing all of this, Monique. We didn't have not one client. But what we were doing was we was getting in position. We changed our mindset. We got in position. And let me tell you, within like 2 months, we got a phone call. This is a true story. A large music group was coming to New York. For some reason, their security team fell out, whatever it was. And someone said, contact Chris, contact G&G Security Group.
Wow.
They called us and said, okay, we have this venue. It's about 2,500 people each day. And you have to man a staff. We have to come up with people, 70 people, to run this event. That was the first time that we have ever done anything like that. And let me tell you, we went to work. But because we were in position, we were able to pivot and prosper
Wow.
that in that arena. And it brought in great income. But it also taught us a lot. Be ready, right? Be ready so you don't have to get ready. And what that did was it opened up doors because we led with excellence. There was no incidents. People said, oh, wow, like you guys are like the premier event security company in New York City. So now when people come in, they're contacting us. So we do event security. We also do executive protection. My husband, he travels. I don't travel. So Abu Dhabi and Jordan and Italy, we travel all over internationally for high network clients. So it's just truly a blessing to be able to do something that you've done your entire life, almost 25 years, from military to law enforcement, to build this business. But those same principles that I shared are the same principles that we use. People love the fact that we are professional and that they get more than what they pay for.
Yes.
They
Yes.
get more than what they pay for. And they know they're going to get someone that's going to show up and that's going to do the job. So we have worked on like the VMAs and the BET Awards, doing event security with a lot of these network events. So we're just looking to grow. We are a minority-owned business. We are a veteran-owned business. So we just got our first contract. This is maybe 3 years ago with the city of New York. So that's a 5-year contract as a minority-owned company. So this is the first time I'm actually sharing that information. So we're just grateful to just, and if we didn't start when we didn't have anything. All we had was an idea. That's all we had was an idea. But because we had that, we was able to become a minority-owned company and land the contract. And land the contract because of a relationship. I believe in you. I trust you. I am going to connect you. And then you got to seal the deal. But the only way you can seal the deal is if you're confident, if you're assertive, if you know what you want, and you got to be bold. And when you lack those skills, you don't show up in that authoritative image. And you don't get the results that you really want. So we have to do the inner work in order to live the life that we want.
So this has been so good, and we're getting close to the end of time. And I'm like, wait a minute, we didn't even talk about the book. Okay, can we please talk about the book? I mean, just the concept, the book, the release. Tell us everything that we need to know about.
So Twins in the City was birthed about 5 years ago. I started teaching at John Jay College, and I would have students come into the classroom, and we would introduce ourselves, and they would go, "I've never met a Black police officer. I've never met a Black detective before." And I'm going, "You're 21, 22. So if you haven't had a chance to interact on a positive note, positive level with a law enforcement officer," I felt like we were missing a chance to engage with the community early on. And then 2 years ago, my daughter said, "Well, what do police officers do? I know that they catch the bad guys, but what else do they do?" So I took the question and I took the statements and I put them together and created this amazing book called Twins in a City. Let's learn about police officers. It highlights all of the positive interactions that police officers see within the community. It highlights the diversity. It shares the importance of relationships, right? Going right back to negotiation, share the importance of relationships, building community. And last year we did a career day at a school, and there was a young lady that came up and she said, "I would like to be a police officer, but I wear," and she pointed to her head. She had on a hijab. And I'm like, "You can be a police officer too." And I began to show her pictures. And I looked at my husband, I said, "This is why we're writing the book." So I'll just show you the image. This is the police officer.
Oh, wow.
Wearing a hijab. So it's important. Representation is so important for little boys and little girls to see themselves in this amazing picture book. And maybe one day too, they will be police officers. I am the first one in my family. So I didn't have anyone to lean on. I had to navigate this world all by myself, but 18 and a half years later, I'm here, and it has been probably one of the best decisions I've ever made was becoming a police officer and a detective. So I'm excited about that, but this has been phenomenal.
I tell you, I'm overwhelmed. I'm like, oh my goodness. And when you held up the book and you showed the pictures, I'm like, okay, I see it in the elementary schools. I see it in the high schools. I see it in different early childhood education programs because of the pictures. So where can we get the book and how can we stay connected? I have the website. The website is scrolling across the screen, everyone, but how can we stay connected with you? How can we reach out to you and where can we purchase the book at?
Yes, so the book will be released this Saturday, May 20th, 8 o'clock on Amazon. You can follow us on Instagram at Twins in the City Book. You can follow my personal page if you choose to. It's called Real Talk Adrian. You can follow me there. My website is adriangoodwin.com, same name that you see. And I'm just looking to do amazing, great things in the community. And just like I said before, I just believe that this book is going to be a launching pad for amazing programs, not just here domestically, but also internationally. I'm claiming that, Monique. I'm
Wow.
claiming that. Like this book is going to take me to maybe smaller departments all throughout the world, villages, just teaching civility, teaching how to communicate and just and build a sense of community where we can all collaborate and work together. So I'm just looking forward to that.
Wow. And now we did not talk about, because I know that you are also a woman of faith. So as you close us out, can you just tell us how your faith and your beliefs have really helped you to get to where you are today and all of the wonderful success? First of
Mm,
all, congratulations,
thank you.
Dr. Adrian, to everything that has happened. Congratulations to what is going on, taking place right now, and congratulations for that's about to come. But when you
Yeah,
talk in faith, how has that helped catapult you?
faith has been a huge part of where I am today. And the reason is because I was trying to do things all by myself. I was trying to figure it all out, and nothing would seem to work. And I have it documented in my journal. One day I was driving to work and I said, Lord, I surrender. Whatever it is that you want from me, whatever it is that you see me, wherever you need me to be, I am going to be. Like show me the signs. And it was me, maybe not that day, maybe the next day, things just begin to happen.
Wow.
Things just begin to happen. Like it just seemed like the floodgates opened up and the opportunities were presented. And I began to just walk in my assignment. And because I was brave and because I was courageous and because I had the confidence and I listened to God this time around. I didn't try to do it on my own because look, we had these talks before. It's like, all right, I know what I need to do, but I'm not doing, I'm trying to, I'm like double dutch. I'm still trying to figure it out. But once I just released and said, God, show me what it is that I need to do. And
Well,
that's where everything began to make sense. So the work that people are seeing now, this has been in the work for years. You're just seeing a manifestation of those seeds, right? You're just seeing a manifestation of those seeds and just the prayer and the devotion every day. That is what keeps me grounded. Is my faith and just speaking things into existence. So that is why I'm here. Is because I said I surrender. Show me what it is that you need me to do, and
well,
that's what I'm going to do. So I am not afraid anymore.
yes,
I am walking in authority.
well,
I'm walking in authority and I am doing things that I've never said I would have done before. I am walking in rooms. I am submitting proposals for conferences that is bigger than me, Monique,
wow.
bigger than me. I say, you know what? I belong in that room. I have something to say.
I
And that's
love
what
it.
it's all about.
Look, listen, everyone. I'm already putting this out there. This was just part one of the conversation. Excuse me, with Dr. Adrian. I need to, for everyone that has watched this broadcast, I need you to connect yourself with someone, as Dr. Adrian said, that will irritate you to greatness. I need you to think about negotiating the life that you desire with those 3 E's that we heard today. And I hope you took some notes. And those 3 E's again, Dr. Adrian, if you could just give them to us one more time.
Oh, yes. Ego depletion, empathy, and ethics, right?
Yes.
Operate in that, and you will see your life transform. You will see your life transform. And just before we go, I just want to just share the 3 C's, which are community, just really, really quickly. Is to communicate, be clear and concise in what it is that you want. Connect with that community, connect with a network of people that's going to irritate you to greatness, and collaborate. Always look for ways to build win-win situations so that you can create the life that you want to live. So communicate, connect, and collaborate. Do those 3 things, and trust me, you will see a difference.
Dr. Adrian, thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. I can't wait to part 2, part 3, and part 4 of this conversation. Listen, everyone, please go to twinsinthecitybook.com. Pick up your copy, order your copy. The launch is Saturday. Saturday, it'll be available. The book will also be available on Amazon. Dr. Adrian, thank you so much for being a role model, being a leader, for owning who you are and the field that you're in. Thank you for all of the nuggets that you shared with us today. Listen, ladies, if I was you, I would stay connected with Dr. Adrian. You can find Dr. Adrian on Facebook, on Instagram. Also, go to the website. We have someone that said congratulations in the chat. Congratulations to you. Once again, my sister. Look, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube page, please subscribe, like, and share. I'll be sharing this video out. And if you have questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. And I'll make sure that Dr. Adrian or I answer all of your questions. Have a great evening, everyone.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.